6.7, we now have a kite of a flare to go through, and let's look at the what we've got. So we know that A and D and A and B, which is sides that touch, are the same, and we know that D and C as well as B and C are the same. There's just one thing I want you guys to remember. When you use the word, I know it's now not nicely written, but parallel. Parallel is when you have opposite sides which are the same. Not you. It's not where you've. Oh, it's not where you've got two sides touching each other. It should be opposite sides. Okay. All right. So let's quickly look at what else we've got. We've got corners there by C and by B. We've got corner E1, but we know those are all 90-degree corners. Why? Because the diagonal lines in a kite is always 90 degrees. That's what we saw in the other questions we also did. So, which sets of sides are equal? Watse stelle sye is gelyk? So, it is mos A and D equals A and B. Now, see that I showed this sign and not that because it's not parallel from each other, it's equal to each other. There's a difference. And then they ask you give the parallel sides. Okay? I can't. There's no parallel sides. So, no parallel sides. What is the size of E1? That should be an easy one for you to remember because all of those intersections is 90 degrees because diagonal lines of a kite equals 90 degrees. Die diagonale lyne is loodreg, perpendicular. And then 6.7.4, use the numbered angles and write down all the equal angles. Okay, so this is a little bit harder. So, well, it's not hard. I mean, it's just a longer question to answer. So I'm going to take that out. And then we're going to work through that. I'm going to also take this out so we can actually work with this image. Right. The first we look at is, let's take this one here, right? B4. Now we say opposite angles are the same. What's the opposite of this? Now we're not going to go that way because you can see it's not the same, but D6, right? And now my answer would be angle B4 equals D6 because now this is also, remember when I said that you're going to have shapes inside of shapes? That's what's going to happen here. If you just look at this, you'll see a shape there. Triangle BCD is a isosceles triangle. Let me just get the Afrikaans name. Gelykbenig, sorry. Gelykbenig. So that would stay the same. This is just gelykbenige. Right, so that's why B4 and D6 can be the same because if you take that triangle, it's an isosceles triangle. It's a gelykbenige. Then we can look at another one. Let me get a new color. B3. Let's choose B3. So if we take B3, that will be the same as B5. And the reason is the same. Because if you also look at that, we also got a, you see, if you only take that angle there, It's also an isosceles triangle. So B3 equals D5 because triangle ABD is isosceles of gelijkbenige driehoek. You can pause here if you want to write this down because I'm going to erase now. Then get all that out of the way. Okay. Then we look at another angle, new color. Let's look at A1. Okay. So A1, that would be equal to A2. So A1 would be equal to A2, and why? This is, I'm not going to write it down, you can just listen. Long diagonal of kite bisects the vertex angles. So basically in English, the diagonal line cuts the angle in half. So in Afrikaans, die lang diagonale lyn op die vleer sny die hoek in twee of half veer die hoek. Then we will also look at 8, which is left, C8. Now, obviously, that is going to be equal to C7. And why would that be? So C7 will be equal to C8. And that's the same reason as A1 and A2. Because if that angle is, let's say, 30 degrees, right? Then if the diagonal line halves that angle, then it just means that both of these would be 15, 15. I'm not saying that is what the angle is, I'm just giving an example. But it's the same as this. If that was 90 degrees, then that would be 45, 45. So they will be the same and they will be the same. If you have any other questions regarding these, you can tell me.